Hello everyone, this is Black Rose Joker, and I am back for my spoiler review slash recap of Digimon Adventure 2020 Episode 3. I really liked the energy I had in my last review, but I felt like I was rambling on for far too long, so I'm gonna try to rein myself back in a little more for this review. Also, I've had some time to look at what other people were saying about last episode, and I really enjoyed Billy M's review of the episode on his second channel. I'll go ahead and post a link to that in the description. You should really go check it out. I love Billy M. He's, of course, done a lot of Digimon content, a lot of reviews on the other Digimon animated series, so please go check him out if you haven't already. He's a really cool guy. Anyways, so while I still stand by my rant in episode 2, I was greatly relieved that a lot of people seemed to enjoy the episode, because as I've said at the end of that rant, I just want Digimon to be as popular and as successful as I know it can be, which is why I will criticize it to the ends of the earth, because that's the only way to really improve is, to receive criticism, although I doubt anyone at Bandai or Toei headquarters is going to be listening to this, but, still. It's just a form of tough love. And again, I purposely tried to be as raw and unfiltered as I could be to experiment with how I want to do these episodes in the future. Although, I unfortunately don't have the perspective of someone completely new to the series, so of course my opinions are going to be heavily biased based on all the Digimon content I've seen before. With that being said, let's go ahead and discuss Episode 3, and to the digital world. The episode opens up with Omegamon, Tai, and Matt facing down the Mega-level Argamon. I thought it was funny how Tai and Matt had the DBZ-esque orange and blue aura, since I directly compared Digimon to DBZ in my rant from the second episode. But I like that the writers are perhaps taking more inspiration from Digimon Data Squad, or just maybe anime from general, and giving the human partners this data aura as their partners reach these higher stages of power. One of my criticisms from the original Adventure series is that the human partners often felt like they were spectators in the fight, so I'm glad that this reboot is addressing that and giving them more of a presence. I also like the juxtaposition of Omegamon opening his eyes and Argamon closing them, signaling the change of tides in the upcoming battle. I enjoyed the battle overall. I thought it was beautifully animated, and appreciated how Argamon was a bit sturdier than Diaboromon. If you remember in the Our War Game movie, Omegamon pretty much demolished all the Diaboromon with very little effort whatsoever, whereas Argamon, he took some hits. So props to Argamon. And also, it's not very many lines, but Megamon does speak a little, which veterans will note is very rare in the adventure continuity, so that's exciting. So, although the fight was still obviously in Omegamon's favor, I'm glad that Argamon was able to put up some resistance. Now, after the fight was over and the missile was right about to impact, Izzy tells them that all these leading scientists who are apparently in his DMs or Discord server or what have no idea what to do. And also, as a quick side note, it's actually kind of fucked up how one of them just sent a shrug in the chat as hundreds of thousands of people are about to die, if not millions, because the population of Tokyo is like about 9 or maybe 10 million, and I don't know how destructive that missile would have been, but still, a lot of people are gonna die. So that's fucked up, man. That's fucked up. Anyways, so Omegamon being Omegamon hacks into the missile and somehow totally reverses its direction to have it rocket up into the upper atmosphere and explode. And of course, the physics really doesn't support that at all. So that kind of had me not really sure about that one. I much would have preferred if Omegamon would have slashed into the human world with the Transcendent Sword and would have forcibly, physically changed the direction of the missile and have it then launch up into the upper atmosphere and explode, or if he would have created a rift right in front of the missile so that it would have warped into the network so that it could have relatively safely exploded there instead of in the human world. But to his credit, Omegamon does seemingly contain the effects of the EMP blast after the missile explodes. Tai and Matt are, however, harmlessly blasted back into the human world. So everything's fine, and Tai gives Izzy all the credit that he deserves. Let's go. I love Izzy, and I'm glad that Tai is acknowledging that without Izzy, they would have had no idea any of this would have been going on, and everyone would have died. So I'm glad that Izzy's getting all the credit that he deserves. Man, let's go, Izzy. Let's go. Fast forward to camp, and we get a glimpse of Joe, and we get to talk to Sora a little bit. We learn that Sora is in the same grade as Tai, and according to Izzy, she's extremely popular. Izzy starts contemplating what the Digimon are and why everything occurred, and apparently summer camp this time around is not where the gang all get isekai'd into the digital world. I think overall this is a pretty good change, because it felt incredibly convenient that all these kids, who are also conveniently the Digidestined, were all assigned into the same camping group. So I think it's a lot more plausible that they all get sent into the digital world in different places. I really like that change. Now, before they get dragged in at the end of the episode, we presumably see that Argamon is still alive somewhere in the network, or it's some other Digimon that's creeping in. And so this Digimon, of course, is creating another electronic disturbance in Tokyo, which, according to Izzy, with all his Bill Gates smarts and technology, is able to calculate that this electronic disturbance will shut down all the power in Tokyo in 3 days. At this moment, the Digivices start glowing. Tai rushes over to Izzy, who's then pursued by Sora, who just so happened to be on the sidewalk as Tai was running by. And then everyone's dragged into the digital world. We see in the transitional animation that there are 2 groups of 3 different colored lights, which likely represent Matt, Joe, Mimi, and then Tai, Sora, and Izzy. So it seems that TK will also be staying back in the human world for a little bit with Kari. I'm pretty excited for the kinds of episodes that will come as a result of this setup. I think it could be pretty neat if the episodes were split between the adventures of Group Tai and Group Matt. I thought the episodes in Original Adventure, which had the Digidestined all split up, were pretty entertaining because it allowed some of the side characters who really are not Matt or Tai to get more screen time and really shine as characters. So I'm excited for that. Also, this solves, at least for the time being, the Omegamon Superman problem I was bringing up earlier, since for at least a couple episodes, I assume, Tai and Matt are going to be separated, so we can't just have Omegamon come in and save the day every time. Now, regarding the electronic disturbance, I have 2 main theories right now. The first is that towards the climax of the series, we're going to come back to the human world near the end of this 3-day period to battle the big bad evil guy. Or what I think would be more interesting is if Kari and TK had to fight it off in their brother's stead while they were off in the digital world. And I don't really have any concrete theories right now with the white feather, which keeps on showing up. Maybe it's homeostasis, looking over the Digidestined. Perhaps it's a Zulongmon. It could, of course, be a totally different entity entirely. Maybe there isn't a physical feather, and it's just some artistic metaphor for Kari and TK's Holy Crest power. I really have no idea. The feathers could also be foreshadowing Omegamon Merciful Mode. I just hope it's not some time travel BS, because time travel really messes up any sort of narrative cohesion, and it's just, again, a classic Deus Ex Machina move, just to make everything super convenient. But really, it just causes more plot holes, and the only anime that I've seen which handles time travel really well is Steins Gate. So I just hope that there's no time travel with Digimon coming back in time to give power to Matt and Tai so they can create Omegamon. I hope that's not the case. But anyways, that about concludes my thoughts on episode 3. And I think from here on out, as a rule, unless it's extremely obvious, I'm not going to discuss what we learned from the previews for the next episode. I know some people don't like watching the previews to keep themselves, I guess, unspoiled for the next episode. So I think I'll just end the video here for today. Overall, I really enjoyed the episode, and I'm excited for what's to come as a result of this different setup. Have a good day, and thanks for watching.